Hi. Hi, everybody. How are you? It is so good. Linda McCollum is here. Patricia from Nova Scotia. Marsha, Polly. Oh, it's so good. Kathleen Champ, expecting company, but she's going to bet they'll run a little late, so she might be able to join us for a bit. It is so good to see all of you. Hi, everybody. So it's been a busy week. Monday, I went in for my mammogram and I went in for bone density. And I haven't had a bone density in 6 years, I guess. And sadly, I'm still osteopenia. And I think I've told most of you that I had hyperparathyroidism for a few years, and they were watching it and watching it, but I was miserable. And what it did is you have these four little parathyroid glands, and they're the size of a grain of rice. But if they grow bigger, then they start drawing calcium out of your body. And my calcium went way up. Now it's 9, and it was at some points over 11. So the endocrinologist was like, we're just going to watch this. And I went to my surgeon and said, I feel horrible. I feel horrible. I don't want to live like this. She said, let's go have some surgery. So unfortunately, I had to have two because one of them was hiding, two surgeries. And because I felt so much better when I had the first ones done. And then I started feeling a little worse. Well, there was one that was kind of hiding behind another, and it was the size of larger than a grape. So it was time. I got both of those done. But until then, I had really good bone density. One of the benefits of being a big girl is you usually have better density because you're carrying that extra weight around. Well, when I got the hyperparathyroidism, I had it for certain, who knows, 6 years or 10 years. And unfortunately, it did a number on my bones. But I found out I still have it. It's a little bit worse here and there, but it's pretty much the same. So I'm going to have to do something I hate the thought of, and that's exercise. But I know I've been talking to y'all about this, but I'm going to get some hand weights. And then I was talking to my daughter. I told her, I said, I can't walk outside in this heat and humidity, but walking is a pretty good weight-bearing exercise. So I said, I think I'm going to go to the mall and walk around the air-conditioned mall. I know. Oh, no roller skating. Good point. Yeah, we don't want to fall, do we? Especially with only one kidney. I think I'm going to be taking it easy. But I hate exercising, but I'm going to have to. So my daughter said, I would love to walk the mall with you. So I think I'm going to schedule 2 days with her to walk the mall. Hi, Adele. So good to see you. Gosh, Laura Rylander's here. Betty Middleton is here. Hi, sweeties. And if Jeannie comes in, she sent me an email. You had to stop. Oh, I'm sorry. So squats. My daughter does squats and she does the hand weights. And she's so healthy. She can walk 4 miles at a session. So anyway, but I said, I have to do this because even men, very healthy astronauts, women that go into space, they start losing bone density in the weightlessness there. So the more I sit, the less strong my bones will be. And quilting and crafting is kind of a sedentary hobby. So, but hello, Charlene Lawson. I was watching, oh gosh, hold on. I was watching Alex Anderson last night, and I saw Charlene's name on there. And in fact, somebody sent me a picture. They're doing Alex Anderson's spools quilt. I can't wait to open it up. I've been really bad about having a mall walking buddy is going to help me so much. So I'm excited about that. And so it's about 15 minutes away. That's not bad. And she said she's going to bring her kids too, because during the pandemic, kids kind of became couch potatoes. So I think it'll be good for them to walk too. You went walking for an hour. Oh, Patricia, that's wonderful. Wonderful. Yeah, she lives in a lovely, cool climate. Although, who knows with these high temperatures up in the West? I know she's on the East Coast, but hopefully she's got nice, cool weather. It was 90 today, and the humidity will just choke a horse. But anyway, it's so good to see you. So I got those two things done. Then Tuesday, I went to the doctor and had my pre-op check and found out that I'm not even going to have regular anesthesia. They're just going to give me a drug that really makes me not care. And I'm looking forward to that. It was close to, oh, that's so cute, Patricia. To y'all, 80 would be very cold. Aw, it was you, Charlene. Well, I can't wait to see what you're doing. I love that quilt. It's like if I had time, I would be doing it. And I'm really enjoying Alex Anderson's videos from home. I really like that. I like that better than a formal show because you get to see her sense of humor, and it's a lot of fun. And her and John kind of remind me a little bit of Mark and I. So it's fun seeing that too. So anyway, but I got my pre-op done and they did some blood work and all of that looks good. And I'm just going to be given some medicine that'll make me feel loopy. And I like loopy. And then they will put some local anesthesia on my eye. And I should be in and out of there in 2.5 hours. And my eye doctor is real strict. So sadly, it's next Thursday. That's the surgery. Guess what's on Thursday? This show. So I won't be doing this show next Thursday. I'm sorry. Although it could be fun. Hi, Alberta. It could be fun, me doing a show full of loopy medicine, but I don't think I trust myself on camera with loopy medicine. Plus, I'm going to be wearing an eye patch a lot the first day. She said that yes, but she said that they just say regular sunglasses. Don't wear those old lady sunglasses. Oh gosh, it's terrible. It's terrible. So anyway, but I'll still be drugged up. Yep. And Mark's got to take me back the next morning, and I'll be within that period that I can't drive. A pirate quilter. Oh God, wouldn't that be funny? Oops, this eye. So anyway, but I'm so excited to get it done. I was giving Maisie a haircut yesterday. And because that cataract's so bad, I can read close up, but it's all distorted. I hate this cataract. You don't know how much I hate it. Oh, thank you, Marcia. I accidentally nicked the puppy twice when I was trimming her hair. I said, that's it. I'm stopping. And I was telling the physician's assistant who was doing my pre-op, I said, the hard part about having a cataract gone bad is that reading glasses don't even help. My eyes are just so different, which makes my depth perception a little off. So it's like, that's why I've been a little clumsy. I'm going to stick with that. Oh, thank you. I can't wait to get it done. Shay said it's not going to be a big deal, and I can't garden, so I'm making sure I get all my gardening done before then. I'm cleaning the house because I won't be able to do things like vacuuming, and the first day I can't bend over at all, and the second on, I can't lift anything too heavy. They don't want to put any strain on that eye, and, I am 65, and I do have type 2 diabetes, but she told me my diabetes is still well controlled, so I'm real happy about that. So otherwise, everything else is good, but next Thursday, I'm going to be busy. So I'm hoping that I'll be here next Sunday because they said, it might feel a little irritated. I just cannot touch my eye. Although, if I come that next Sunday, I wonder when she'll let me start wearing makeup. You don't want to see me without makeup, girls. Oh, it's not good. Okay, Adele, you go see Gabby, huh? Or grandbaby. Grandbaby. Oh, that's neat. I am prone to overdoing. You know me so well, Laura. Mark told me that from the beginning. He's like, I'm a little worried you're going to wear me out, but I do love life, let me tell you. All right, so a couple things tonight. So somebody had mentioned they wanted me to finish this basket because they wanted to be able to figure it out. And, here's the basket, and we laid out, I had to have 20 strips, and you make those by cutting a strip of fabric, putting some kind of fusible on each side, fold those sides up, and then fold it over one more time, and make a nice, firm strip. But I'm serious. It's different looking. But anyway, so this is how I made the strips for the basket. They're folded in half and then folded in half again. So it's all folded edge. Oh, you're so sweet, Laura. Thank you, honey. And so then it showed them doing this. Well, what I thought I was supposed to do, and I forgot a step. Once you get it to this stage right here, then take a heavy thread. I prefer to use a heavy thread, and you weave it opposite what your last row is. So like right here, that red is on top. So you put the thread, let me see. Hold on now. Yeah, you would put the thread on top of that one. So you're like anchoring it down. So you put your thread on top of that one, then go under, over, and go all the way. You pull it tight, go all the way here, and tie it together. By weaving that thread in around your woven area, then it holds that together while you try to upright it and do the other weaving. That's Oh, happy birthday, Linda McCollum. Yay. Oh, happy birthday, sweetheart. Happy birthday. Isn't that nice? I got to remember. So y'all help me remember this Sunday. Maybe we'll even all sing her happy birthday. So anyway, that's wonderful. And when you weave that thread, and if you have like a hand quilting thread, that would even be better. You weave it, pull it nice and snug so it holds that center weaving. All that center is what you want to hold together. Well, what I showed y'all is it's what it looked like to me. I thought that what she wanted you to do is weave 5 of these with 5 of these, 5 of this side to 5 of that side across the corner. I couldn't make that thing work worth anything. So guess what I did then? I read the instructions 2 times. And then I realized, it wasn't super clear, but when I actually slowed down and took the time to read it, she said, I realized she was saying, use the 10 on just one side. Take 5 and 5, treat them as 2 separates, and then start weaving them. So that's what I did. I would take one, put it up, take the other, and then I just started one from each side, one from each, and back and forth, one from each side. The sides of the basket came up great. Pardon me, I've got hiccups. The one thing I noticed, though, is it's hard to get used to trying to keep the fabric tight. And I would get busy weaving, and I would see a loose one, and I would tighten it, then the other seemed loose. It's a never-ending quest of keeping them tight. And I'm going to be honest with you. I was so busy this week. Then yesterday, I know I've got to get ready for the surgery. I steam cleaned my sunroom carpet. I groomed my dog. I did all the dog's toenails. I got a new chair set for my front porch. I put that together all by myself and put it out on the front porch. And I've been too busy, just too busy. So I've been tired. I got to the top. Now, I have woven a regular basket before and know how that you take it when it comes up and you put it back down and weave it like on the inside, back on the inside through the other folds. But this is done on an angle, and this thing is just ugly. Look at that right there. That's ugly, but I don't care because I was tired. Some of the strips were too short to fold them back right. It was hard. I wasn't in the mood to try to undo and redo. And I just, you know what I did? I folded them down the best I could. I glued them folded down, and then I'm going to take and I'm going to stitch around the edge and just stitch them the way they are. They're just, see, they're folded nasty inside. You're supposed to weave them back the way they came. I couldn't figure out how to do it with some of these ones that were too short. And so I just folded them to the inside, put glue on them, pinned them in place for the tacky glue to dry. I'm going to stitch near the top all the way around the edge, and then I'm going to cut off all those pieces, and I'm going to be done with it. And if it bothers me to have this wonky edge, because it's supposed to be a nice, perfect zigzag edge, if that bothers me too much, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to put a border on the top. I'm going to make some like double-sided binding and just put a little binding on the top. So there. I'm a bad teacher, but I'm a happy crafter. But if you see what, see how you end up with all those pieces? But some of mine were really short. And then see how she nice and neatly weaves them back in? It didn't work for me. So I know how to weave simple baskets. I've taken a class on it and I've got the basket weaving stuff. But this was hard. And so anyway, put ribbon on it. Yeah, I'll hot glue ribbon on it. I mean, honest to goodness. So that's a lot of work. I think it's really cute and colorful. I really like it. But it's not going to be perfect. And you know what? I'm a woman of age, and that's good enough, and that's good enough. So anyway, so what can you do? So that's, I love starting stuff, but finishing it is sometimes just a little tricky. All right. We're not going to do photos today because one of the things, hi, Miss Jody, she did get here. One of the things is I've thought of a new quick and easy project. And remember, I'm not going to be here next week. So I'm going to give you ideas and thoughts and have you gather some things up. And I'll talk about that in just a moment. But I wanted to show you, today I worked really hard trying to make more progress on all the fabric beads from last week. And I want to show them to you. So I took the wooden beads and I finished this little necklace. And I think this is great to wear with a t-shirt and pair of jeans. Something very, very simple. But I like the batik and all the colors. Then I wore this black t-shirt for a reason, because this is the polymer clay necklace I made that I really enjoy. But I'm going to show you this. I wore it to both days of my doctor's visits. One day I had on this black t-shirt. One day I had on a red one. And I like it. There it is. And you can pick multiple different colors to wear with it. And this one, you know, I put the pony beads in the middle and it wore out my hand. I almost had no skin left on this hand trying to pull that tight pony bead across all the fabric. But it was worth it now because I really do like it. So I'm going to leave this one on for the rest of today. Oh, is Jody doing zombies? I've gotten Jody, don't go anywhere because I've got something to show you that I think you might get excited about. All right, so I've got these done. Now let me pull up all of this. But I tried to work hard today because I said I want them to see me finish things. In fact, I'm going to tell you this. We're going to start this new landscape quilt. But in all honesty, I'm going to want us to have, we're going to pick a day and I'll give you a week, 4 weeks notice. And we're going to try to finish up some of the projects we didn't do. And if you don't want to finish up a project, you don't have to worry about it. But I know for me, I haven't finished the one with the lambs. That was a couple years ago. I've got another one of a farm. And then, I mean, it's like ridiculous. I need to get these things finished. All right. I'm going to point the camera down to show you some things. All right. Here are the sari balls that I'm going to make a necklace with. So I've gotten this many rolled, and I need to go around and stitch them. Now that you have to use a nice sharp needle, hand needle, and you might need some pliers. But I'm going to stitch all around these. Then I'm going to add some tiny little beads and little decorative beads on these and get them just pretty, and then I will string them into a necklace. Now, and I might make a few more of those, but I've done 3 large ones and a lot of small ones, and I'll see. I might do more. Then remember the beads that I showed you that, I didn't bring the paperwork for them. Well, remember that they were fun beads that you could kind of sit and decorate however you wanted? Whoops, there we go. All right, so here are the ones I did. I made these, and they look like denim, but it's not. It's a quilting cotton, but I liked the fact that it looked like denim. So on this one, I did a chenille yarn around the end, and all stitched down by hand and stitched the beads on it. Then here I did a real fancy, pretty yarn. I haven't decided if I'm going to do beads on that one. Here I did a different kind of yarn. I haven't decided what exactly to do on that. Here I did a really interesting ribbon and thickened it on the edges and then wound it around. Here was all hand stitches. So you can see I did kind of running stitches across, a blanket stitch on the ends, and then pop these really cool beads. I wanted each of these to be different. This one I'm not quite finished with, but I put this nubby yarn into different colors. Now on that, I'm going to take and do some stitching on it with this one. I'm going to do some stitches with this DMC. So each bead I'm trying to have kind of be different from the rest. Now, the sari beads, I'm going to take some really tiny seed beads and decorate those. But for this bead right here, or this, maybe even that one, I'm going to use these beads. And I think they're really pretty. They're iridescent. So I'm trying to keep this more casual this right here, more casual and kind of bohemian. But I think they came out right cute. What do you think? I think they're right cute. Oh, good job, Patricia. Wow. It's a 16-inch square. Okay. You know, you can tape another ruler to it and try to work that way. But so then once these are finished, then I'm going to, oh, and yeah, on one of these, I think this one, I'm going to use this kind of, I don't know exactly what you call that, but it's a not shiny metallic. I think I'm going to do that on this, and then these on this one. And then I made some small spacer beads for this out of narrower fabric. Hold on, let me pop these off here. Sometime when you put the sealer on, it makes them stick to the toothpick. That's why I like using toothpicks. Toothpicks are cheap. If the toothpicks get too gnarly, I can just get some more and stick them in this styrofoam. And I can always get more styrofoam from things we've gotten in the mail. So, okay. So see what I've done is I've taken a sealer and put on these little spacer beads. And so I'll use these all together in something. But so that's done. Yes, I did the beads last week on a show, but I'm going to actually show you how to make a fabric bead in just a moment. I've put 3 layers of sealer on these beads. And isn't that pretty? A good question. Boy, Kathleen, you're on the ball today, girlfriend. My favorite sealer is triple thick from Deco Art. I love this stuff. You can get it from Amazon. You can get it from Michael's. And I used to get it in big bottles, but then they had a good sale in these little ones, and that makes it real easy for me to work on projects with. So, but I'm going to show you. These have 3 layers of the sealer, and I just think they're so pretty. Here is a batik purple. Look at that. And this is part of the same fabric. It's where it goes to brown. Although this one's one, okay, I'll show you real quick. This one's only had 2 layers. Can you see the difference from the ones that have had 3? So I recommend 3 coats of it. And don't they look almost ceramic? The sealing makes the difference. Look at that. Isn't that pretty? So I can't wait for these to be made into necklaces. And this is an Asian fabric that, just so pretty. I wouldn't worry about them getting a little damp. This sealer is supposed to be pretty, let me hold on just a second. I wouldn't throw them in a washing machine or soak them, but I think once this dries, it's permanent. So, water-based and permanent. Soap and water cleanup. Additional product information for projects. Visit Deco Art. So you could go to decoart.com and get more information. Now, did you say I could just read that without my glasses? Next Thursday, I'll no longer be able to do that. She's got to match my other eye. But I'll be so happy to be able to see this more clearly. Because right now, I tell people it's like looking at writing on gravel. It's all bumpy, lumpy, distorted. But isn't that pretty? And then I just make sure, I might need to clean up the ends a little bit. And what I like to do is take these beads and intersperse them with wooden beads or something like that. So anyway, I love these, and I am going to do more of these. So now I'll show you how do I make a fabric bead. Because any of your fabric that you've got on hand, I wouldn't do upholstery fabric, I don't think, but I'll show you how it's done. It's so easy. It's so inexpensive. That triple thick sealer it's cheaper than Mod Podge that I've found. And look for sales, but this stuff is pretty inexpensive. So this is what I do. And I made my own little rack with a scrap piece of styrofoam and toothpicks. Then I like to use school glue, and with fabric, I also like to use a little tacky glue. So let me get, I've got my scraps here. Now where's my bead winder? If you don't have a bead winder, you don't have to go out and buy one. What I recommend is see if you like it. So you could use a crochet hook. And I think I had one somewhere in here. But I came down prepared to wind some beads. So let me find it. Remember when I made the trays? I love these trays because I can put everything I need for a project. And then head on upstairs. Look at these wonderful beads. That'll go pretty with the denim look beads. All right, come on, Deb. Now, you couldn't have just lost this. I just had everything together. I might have to, I don't even see a crochet needle. I can use one of these, but it's not as big as I like. So, all right. What I suggest, my favorite bead winder, I wonder what I did with it. I had them early. Oh, wait a minute. Did I look through this? It's so funny. I said, I try to stay neat and organized, but everything ends up messy in containers. And sometimes I think crafts are just a little messy. Okay, I don't know where my good bead winders are, so I'm going to show you with what I've got. Okay, so now here we go. All right, what I did at first, before I found my favorite bead winder, which is a purple plastic that has a plunger and pops the bead off. Hello, sweetie. You've been embroidering. Oh, good. All right. You can buy for about $10, $15. You can buy a set of bead rollers with wooden handles. And I buy these cushions that help you hold. I love the beading. It is so easy. It's so much fun to do. And you can use junk mail. I made the prettiest beads out of junk mail, but I must have left those upstairs. But, oh my gosh, there were some that came out gorgeous. And you just never know when you're working with it what's going to really come out looking pretty. But anyway, you can buy this little inexpensive set. And then if they don't have these little gel holders, then buy yourself some from Walmart and stick them on there. So the reason I like this rather than I did a crochet needle at first for quite a while, but this has a little, let me see if I can get you to see it. See right there, it is a little, let me see if I can use, it is a little track. It's a little split in just this side of this thing. So you can tuck the paper or fabric in that, and it helps hold it so you can get a prettier roll. So what I do, let me find, this one's a little, what I do is I take fabric and I put, here is some of the Asian fabric, And I take this fabric, I starch this side, then I add fusible interfacing to it, okay? That stiffens it so that it's easier to roll. Then you take and you put this opening onto that fabric like this, see, and it holds it for you, and then you start rolling. Now, when I get to about this stage, I go ahead and I put some glue. And I love using school glue. I buy it by the gallon. Hi, Jeannie, honey, I'm going to write. I think it was you that wrote me an email, and I just have not even been on the email, but I will. So I promise that I will get back to you, hon. I apologize. I try to always answer people quickly. When I went camping, I had so many hundreds of emails that I haven't been able to go through and clear them off. And I'm just trying to stay caught up. But now, okay, so I just kind of run the glue down. With paper, I take my finger and rub it in. With the fabric, I don't always, because I like the fabric to kind of smooth it out itself. So I'm holding it firm down here, holding this firm, and you roll it. Very simple. This is just a straight bead, nothing fancy. And you can do a tapered bead, but I haven't done that yet with fabric. So now it's about the size I like it. So I'm going to take and cut it loose here. Okay. So I just cut the strips, put the interfacing. Now what I'm going to do is I want the bead to lay flatter when it comes to the last roll. So what I'm going to do is peel back that interfacing. I'm going to trim it off. That way I'll get a smoother transition. Then I'm going to take, and on this part of the fabric, that's where I use my tacky glue. You can use school glue, but you'll end up constantly having to put it, re-glue it and put it on because it'll want to pop loose. The difference in tacky glue and school glue is price, number one, but tacky glue has an instant strength to it that school glue doesn't have. So for right at the end, when it's liable to want to open up, that's the only place I put the tacky glue because I'm too cheap to use it the whole way. So now there's the bead, and I take it and slide it off carefully. Now what I like about my purple beater is it has the plunger that pushes it off for me, and that does a better job. So now I had it kind of messy. Like, I don't know if you can see this end where it's a little bit messy. This is how I smooth it out. You can let them dry and then do it, but I want to show you right now. You just take these little scissors, these little snips, and you run them across the edge, kind of trimming as you go. And then it gives a nice clean edge. And you can get it, like if you want to make sure it's really clean and nice, then just trim off a little bit more and you'll get you want a nice firm edge. Here, you see where it didn't roll up smoothly? So this one I have to take more off because I want a nice clean edge. Now, if you wanted a tapered edge, you could cut them this way and try to shape and taper them. But here we go. So we just go around like this. And by just laying it on top of the bead, it ends up giving you a nice square edge. Now, if you wanted this interfacing is wanting to come off. Let me find a piece where the interfacing's on really good. Let's say you wanted to make a tapered bead. The only problem I have with Mod Podge is, let me tell you, it stays sticky. And I don't like that. Now see what I'm doing right here? I'm taking and tapering this fabric on the way up. Okay, what I'm going to make is a very long type of triangle. Okay, so I'm going to come back up here. If I had more time, I would probably taper it even farther up. But I want to get to our project that we're going to do because I'm very excited about that. All right, so this is when you're making paper beads, when you see people that make what some people call a barrel bead or a tapered bead. No, we've got a different new project. So I'll show you that in just a moment. This is just finishing up last week's show. Okay, so now I've got to try to put that little slot on the fabric. Okay, then I start rolling. Now, some people only put glue at the bottom, but I want the bead to be firm and well attached. I don't want the insides to try to sneak out. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to open the glue first, but I'm going to take and put a good size. You have to use more glue with fabric than paper because it is porous more so than paper. Okay, so now you have that tapered thing. So you start rolling it and you're trying to keep it even as you're rolling it down. Then when it starts coming in like this, it makes the sides curve down and you get what's called a barrel bead. And depending on how long and how tapered it is, now remember at the end, you've got to take and use a little bit of tacky glue. Now for paper, I can just use school glue the whole way. But for fabric, since it's so absorbent, I have to use tacky glue. So now let me see if I can get this to stay. So by making that long triangle, that's the difference in the barrel bead versus the fabric bead. And it just depends on what you like. The only problem with doing this with fabric, I think at first I would put fray check on the long, yeah, you're right. And I don't like the smell of Mod Podge. It kind of gives me a headache. But I think if I were to do this shape fabric beads, I would take and cut the triangle and then use fray check and put fray check down the edge, because see how the edges want to kind of get a little rough. And that would be kind of hard to trim. So I think I would have to use fray check. And then you kind of lose some of the design of the fabric by cutting it like that. But anyway, okay, there we go. So that's that. And like I said, I just think these beads with 3 layers of the sealer on them are gorgeous. And do you hear that? They're nice and firm and hard, more like a real bead. And if you don't need or want necklaces, you can make scissor fobs with them. You can make keychains with them, whatever. What I love about bead making, it's mindless and it's cheap. So it's stuff you have around the house. So anyway, and then these would get 3 layers of the triple thick decoupage, deco art. This so far is my favorite. Oh, you won't believe this. Guess what was over here? My bead rollers. This is my favorite bead roller. I wish she would come out with another one that had a little thicker head on it, like this one. I used to use this, but the problem is these cheaper ones, the metal is a cheaper metal, and sometimes if you're not quick on rolling those beads, they'll stick to this. And when you go to pull the bead off, the inside of the bead comes out. It winds out. Unwinds from the inside. That's a ruined bead. With this, it's got stainless steel, and I wish this part was a little longer too. But watch this. You go, when you're done with the bead, You push the plunger, pops the bead off. This was only $10, $9.99. Very worth it. In fact, if I need to buy another one in case this were to ever break. The other thing I like about it, instead of turning, with this one, you have to turn the whole bead roller. With this, look at this. You just turn this part. So your hand is able to stay still and hold it. So I forget the woman's name who invented this, but I love her dearly. And there, I had just I knew I had those. I knew I did. But if you don't want to spend any money and just want to try making paper or cloth beads, use a crochet hook. That's how I did it for months before I really felt like, hey, I like this. So often I buy everything for the latest thing and then get into it and go, I'm not sure it's for me. Okay. Now, let me get this stuff out of the way. So, what we're going to do a little project to get us warmed back up. And I really was worried about not being here next week for you because I hate when we don't have a week and y'all get busy doing other things and you might forget about me. So, this is what we are going to do. All right. Let me put hint and hint. Okay. So I said I wasn't going to do photos today, but I forgot. I've got to do some. So real quick, let's go over. And Jody, pay attention because there's a couple ideas I had for you on here. So, all right, people, let me bring up the photo album. I'm not going to do individual people's photos, but here we go. What we're going to do is, let me see, no. Oh, okay. All right, sorry about that, guys. I wondered what that would do. All right, here we go. Let's start up. I saw a picture of this in an old magazine, and it wasn't this one, but somebody had done a landscape of a foggy woodland, and I was fascinated with it. And I said, that would be relatively easy to do, and I'm going to show you why. All right? So you have a sharp tree in the foreground, and then back here, they're all faded, and they get lighter and lighter the further away because there's fog in the air or mist. And so I typed in misty woodland image, and look at what I found. Now, this one I wanted to show you because I love the lower dead branches. That's one of the things you have in a woodland, is because the lower branches, the trees are so close together. The lower branches, when they were little, started out, but then as the trees block more and more of the sun, they die off and they're just kind of left there. So remember that when you're going to do your woodland. Also, I'm going to make a pattern, and when I come back, I'll have the pattern, and anybody that wants a pattern can have it. But I'm going to first get you to put on your thinking cap. Now, this is the easiest way to do a dynamic landscape, because putting all that color in, you don't have to worry about what kind of plants are on the ground or anything. You just put a bunch of this color. You could do the, what is it we call it when you cut up a bunch of tiny pieces of a fabric? And you could do that. Or you could find a fabric with oranges and greens in it and cut long strips of that. All right. Then here's one from Miss Jody. I I was thinking about her current, um, oh, her current work. She's got a series, pardon me. Yes. I thought, ooh, this is kind of cool. And if she's doing a series, okay? So look at this one. And I thought, how awesome would it be for her to do something like this to go with her series? Now, let me see if I can find some more in that line. While I'm doing these for Jody, let me find. Now, this one's not quite as scary. In fact, keep this in mind. Let's say you want to do just something fun, and you want to take a light blue fabric or white fabric and put light blue trees on it. And let's say you want to use yellow fabric. Look at that. Isn't that striking? So I have some of those divided into colors. Now let me see this one. I think this might be another in the ideas for Miss Jody. I thought that looked kind of spooky and mysterious. Now let me see. I tried to get a few for Miss Jody because I saw them and I instantly thought of her series. Now I love this because back there is sun. So you're in the dark and the light is through there. One of the neat things is having the fog and the mist makes it so cool. Now let me see. I thought it for sure. Oh, look at this one. I thought of Miss Jody when I saw this. Look at that. How cool is that? And they kind of come out like a silhouette, like the portraits she's been making. Isn't that awesome? And you can either go look these up yourself, or I can post these on our group site, and you can use them for your own forest. Okay, so I'm hoping we'll find some more for Miss Jody, but you'll notice on here too the colors. Like let's say you wanted to use a beautiful turquoise-ish, then look at this. Because you know what? Foggy mornings, depending on what time of day, can be all different colors, and you can do whatever you want. All right, so let's go back up here and start again, because I want to give you ideas. I'm trying to get you excited. Let's say you're Kathleen Ziegler and you live in the Pacific Northwest. Look at this. Or let's say that you like Hansel and Gretel type stories. That could be a forest over in Northeast Asia, that is so awesome. But I just love that depending on the photo you use, you can have a whole different feel. Now I'm going to put a pathway in mine. This was interesting, and it has a deck type pathway. And then it looks like it has a little bit of a waterfall over here. And it's a lush green and yellow woodland. And just notice, by using a misty day, you don't have to work so hard. I'll show you a couple ideas of how you can accomplish that. All right, now let's see what this one is. Oh, that was the Miss Jody one again. All right, and look at this one. Look at the sun coming through. Look at those rays. Isn't that awesome? So if you had a little bit lighter fabric, you could run strips to create that, or use ink tints. But I wanted to show you different colors so you could kind of figure out, well, what fabric would I want to use? Now here is one that has color, but it's very subtle and very foggy. And again, you're in the dark part of the woods looking into a lighter part. That's another thing for you to decide. Where are you in the woods? Look at this one. That's another fall scene. I love that. So fall would be pretty easy. Winter would be a little harder. Then I looked at this, and there is a babbling little brook coming down that one. And I love the tall trees and that misty look. And that's the part I want you to pay attention to. And I'll soon tell you why I think, whoops, same one. Hold on. Okay, let me go. Whoops. Here we go. All right, look at this one. This is a lush, verdant, Amazonian type forest. Look at that. How neat would it be to do ferns? You could do thread painted ferns, but that's really pretty. So now let's go to the next one. I think we saw this one already. Yes, that just has a little bit of color. We saw the yellow one. Look at this blue one. Is this beautiful? Let's say if you wanted to do something in blue. It just has a little bit of a little brownish greenish down there. That's awesome. So I'm just trying to give you cool ideas so that you can decide. Now here, you have more normal definition and color here, but then heavy fog right behind it. And it is so easy to make the fog. Trust me, it's so easy. Here's a little bit of a fall woodlands. So you can see the trees up close, but how do you do this? This would be dark, medium, light, and lighter. How would you make that happen? And I've got a couple ideas to share. Okay, let's see what this one is. Here is a dark and murky, but still with some green. Okay. Now, this one was really pretty too. This is if you wanted to do something with yellows and greens. I love that. All right. I've showed you the blue. I think I've shown you. I've shown you a couple blue ones, but this is really pretty. Look at the blue background, and even the trees are different shades of blue, but then there is actually a fall-colored floor of the forest right there. All right. Now, let me see. So it goes on this way, and all you have to do is go to your Google and type in foggy or misty. I actually like misty better. Misty woodland views. And look at that. And I love the fact that it's got that branch that forms an archway of the path. Isn't that pretty? All right, let me see. Let's say you wanted to use green fabric. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? And I love the path, and it's got white flowers. Oh, I had some with snow. So, okay, we've looked at fall. We've looked at winter. Here we go. We've looked at summer, but look at that. Isn't that neat? And there's even, that looks like a person in a silhouette. So this is kind of cool. I think there are lots of good ideas online. And then this was cool because it shows you on the forest floor looking up at the trees. I thought that's an interesting viewpoint. That's why as long as you live, you will never run out of ideas of quilts to make. Look at this. Isn't that beautiful? Beautiful, beautiful. All right, so I think for the most part, that was one of the spooky ones for Miss Jody. Let me see what this is. Oh, that's just a person. I found this interesting because it's a path, but it goes up on each side. So that's something you might want to do. All right. And then the last one is a beautiful yellows and oranges. And I love the light that comes in there. So to make these, oh, my finger's itching. What does it mean if your only your thumb? Oops. Okay. Hopefully I'm still here. Let me come make sure I'm still here. I might have touched the wrong button. All right. So I'm hoping good. Can you still see me? Am I still here? So we're going to do a relatively simple, not too large, okay? Oh, great. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a pattern, and if you want it, I'll send it by email. You can print it out, and it's only going to be 4 pages. So it'll be approximately 20 inches tall by about 15, 16 inches wide, okay? So that you can take and print it out on 4 pages, tape them together. Now, you don't have to, oh, hi, Miss Kim. I'm Robin Boyd. Wonderful. Oh, is Kathleen here? Is my Kathleen Ziegler here? Because I was talking about her out in the Northwest out there. Oh, there's Dad's got Kathleen Champ, I bet. So, anyway, let me get the camera straight. I'm a little crooked here. But I want you to be thinking of what colors, what season, what kind of woodlands, and you can even use my pattern. And if you want to have a pattern to go by, you can use it and you can decide what season, what color background, anything. Now, so what I want you to do is gather some supplies if you want to do this. I prefer the gray, and this is netting, but it's a very fine netting tool. I prefer gray tool, but you can use white tool. Depending on how thick you want the fog to be, you can use white tool. You could take white tool and try to dye it in hot tea if you wanted to knock down some of the brightness for it. Then, so that's one of the ways to add that misty background. And in that case, you would do some different trees and different things. And then the last thing you would do is you would put the netting, the tulle over it and stitch it down and then put your trees in front, okay? Because the ones you want to show. Or you can do this. You can do both if you want. You know that that's a nice rich brown. But guess what? If it's a tree back in the misty fog, use the back of it. That is how you can create a forest in the misty fog. You can just use lighter browns of fabric, something that's got kind of little shading for trees. This can be a foreground tree. This could be the same tree in the background in the fog. Okay? So, or use the back side of the tree fabric for the trees that are in the fog, and use a couple different shades. So you're going to want to do this. You're going to want dark, medium, light, and very light fabrics. And because that's how you'll get the ghost images back in there. So what I'm going to design is a couple trees that you can see well, like this. And then I'm going to design a winding path. And then I'll decide, what do I have along the winding path? Do I have a little creek that runs beside it or not? I don't know. I haven't decided yet, and I didn't want to rush it today because I want to do a good job if I'm going to make another pattern. And I want to look at all. See what I do, and this is a good time to talk about copyright. The photos I show you, some of them may be copyrighted. I don't use that and make a picture of one of those photos. What I do is I get a feeling. I get an idea of what colors I like. I get an idea of what season I want, what kind of trees I want. Do I want pine tree from the northwest? Do I want, oh, good. Or do I want deciduous forest? Do I want New England in fall? Do I want Florida in the hot, muggy summer? So that's what I want you to be thinking of. If you want to draw your own pattern, you go for it. And like I said, just type in Misty Woodland images. Okay? And then make sure you get yourself some tulle and try to get it relatively fine, because see how already, look at that. Here I am, there I am with tulle. So it is very effective, but I want you to also look at using lighter tones for trees so they'll look like they're ghost trees, and show me some fabrics that where the back of a definite strong color would make a wonderful ghost tree in the mist. So you've got to decide what season, what kind of woodland, what is your climate, what are your tree species. That's what you decide. Snow, I would use plenty of tulle, white fabric, but not real white. I would use a pale gray and a pale blue, because snow is not really white. It's a mixture. And so then with the trees, just I wouldn't worry. Like, you can put snow on the branches of the ones you see close, but mainly if you do a snow scene, it's going to be mostly white, light gray, light blues. So go through your stash and just really take a white and choose your blues and grays from the white. And okay. Oh, this is going to be very, very simple. Everyone can do a tree. Everyone. You can paint in, yes, you can paint in the snow. You can use fabric markers. You can use ink tints. You can use crayon. Do whatever makes you happy. And very good. Oh, and Polly, I'm going to have you over next week before I do my eye surgery. I've got to just get a little bit of finishing up done over here. But so anyway, be thinking, be gathering little supplies, and I'll take and put some of these photos on our group site, but also look up your own. We're going to just do a simple rectangular, taller than it is wide. And it's not going to be that big. It's only going to be about this big. And it's going to be like trees. I'm thinking of doing a canopy over somewhere, over. Okay, I sure will, Miss Polly girl. All right. So, and then Jody, did I kind of get you interested in maybe doing a little bit of a darker woodland that maybe will go in with your series? Because when I saw some of those, I was like, oh my gosh, that's so cool. We will start this, not next Thursday, because I'm having my cataract removed that day, but the very next Thursday. And I will, especially if you are on our group, I will make sure to put on their emails, I've got the pattern ready, whatever. In fact, by this Sunday, I should have a pattern drawn up. And if you want it then, you can get it then. So anyway, I'm just excited. I think this will be a fun thing. We want to have a day where we learn Miss Jody some of her techniques. Susan said she's working on that. So I thought, okay, let's see what Susan comes up with. What can we do in the meantime? Also, I'm going to do some crafting Thursdays here too. So think of a fun thing you might want to do. You know that my first thing that I'm crafting is I got the capiz shells, or the cappies or cappies. I don't know how they're pronounced, but I'm going to be dyeing these, and I've taken time to hand paint some of them. And I'm going to be making a wind chime out of these shells. So anyway, we might throw in a few little things. In fact, the fabric beads was part of that. Just crafting and having fun. Because I find personally, yes, I do want a Jody tutorial. I do. And Miss Susan Smith said she would learn and put together probably on our Jitsi. And that should be fascinating. So, what was I going to say? But I'm excited. We're going to have fun this summer. I think if you want to start an easy landscape, that misty scene would be so easy because you're just creating ghost trees. Ghost trees don't have bark or any discernible leaves or anything. It's just going to be shapes, and that should be fun, which also plays into Jody's style of doing silhouette portraits because it's all about value. So I think that'll be fun. Hi, Miss Cheryl. You'll have to go back and watch. We're getting ready to start a new project. I think you'll like it. So sometime tomorrow, I hope to have all of those pictures on our Groups.io site. I'll make a folder for them in the file section. If you find some, you can then go in there and put them right in the file too. So, and just remember about copyright. You can only use an image, really use that image, if you've gotten permission or it's in the public domain. But I gather all of these because they give me ideas, and my creation becomes something unique because I pull ideas from here and ideas from there. All right. So I won't see you next Thursday, but I'll see you the Thursday after. So that should be July 15th. I don't know what month it is. July 15th. Yes. So we'll be back July 15th. Okay, I will be here this Sunday. So, and I think this Sunday's 4th of July. So we'll have to be Yankee Doodle dandies. Okay. All right. Take good care of yourself. I can't wait for us to start our new project. And so now I'm giving you some things to think about. Y'all take really good care. And I look back on here again. I'll tell you about the story of the basket. So check back. If you came in later, check back and look at it again. Take great care, and I'll see most of you on Sunday, and the rest of you I will see Thursday, July 15th. All right. Bye-bye, guys. Take good care. Bye-bye. Hopefully the next time we do a Thursday night, I can see better. Bye-bye. It's important to see, A girl's got to be able to see to sew.